Welcome back to part 4 of how to raise money from family and friends. We're now going to look at the process. My name is Boomy Tokan from startyourownbusinessacademy.com. We're going to explore the process that one should take if you were thinking of either a loan, a gift, or an investment from a family member. What are a few guidelines that you could possibly follow that could smoothen that process and enable the relationship to still exist irrelevant of what happens in business? Well, if the business makes money and you're able to pay back the money and buy them a nice car and a nice house out of it, nobody's ever going to complain about receiving money from family and friends. But in reality, sometimes it takes longer to pay back the money and you could actually lose the money. When that happens, we tend to have issues within that relationship. So what are some guidelines you can follow to help you so that you don't get to that position at all? What you need to do, the major thing that needs to be done, is to consider the character of the family member or friend, to consider the character of that person. So the first thing to look at is, what is the person's disposition to business? What is the person's disposition to business? What is the person's disposition to risk? What is the person's disposition to failure? What is the person's disposition to waiting? What is their character like when it comes to being patient? If that person's disposition to risk is very low, an investment or a loan is not the way to go with that family or friend. A gift could be the way to go with that family or friend. If the person's disposition to risk is pretty good, which is high, then a loan or an investment, in fact, an investment will be better for that kind of person. They know that, well, if they invest, they're going to make some money back, so they're willing to take a risk. Another thing from your point of view also is that when you are dealing with them, you got to deal with them if they're investing on a business level. You have to deal with them as though you were talking to an investor you do not know, even though a relationship does exist. We're going to cover that also, but understand the person's disposition to business, to risk. If they're risk averse, run away from them. If they're opposed to risk, just run away from them. Even though they may have the money, they give you a gift, that's good, but no loan, no investment, because if anything goes wrong, they are the type of people that will look at you at the family occasions and point to their children. What else can we say? The second thing to consider in terms of character of the family or friend is you should disclose to them, this is probably what you should do, disclose to them all the risks and worst case scenarios. Disclose to them all the risks and worst case scenarios. Sometimes because we're so eager to collect the money, we know certain risks, but we avoid telling them those risks because we feel that, oh, if I told them that, well, you know what, you could lose the money, then they won't want to get involved. Therefore, we're not going to get the money, and therefore the business isn't going to start. And, we have all these ideas that we think about ourselves. But it is better for you to disclose the risks to the family member or friend so that they're completely aware of worst case scenarios. Saying something like, worst case, you could lose this money, is better than saying nothing. Obviously, if it's a gift, it doesn't matter whether you lose it or not because it's a gift. If it's a loan, you could say, you know what, seriously, if the business goes belly up, I'm a limited company. That means that you won't be able to come after me, and do not do a deal with a family member that you will not do with a financial institution. I've made that mistake. I did a deal with a family member, offering them this big guarantee that that's going to happen if anything goes wrong, and I just will never do that again. So don't offer something you know you will not fulfill or will be difficult to fulfill. And don't make offers to a family member you will not make to a financial institution. Don't offer them guarantees when you know you will not offer a family or a financial institution the same guarantees. Don't do it. It's very important to lay out the risks so everybody's clear. If it's an investment, you lay out the risks, you lay out the worst case scenario so that we're all clear and it's written down. It's got to be documented. The way you deal with them, with a family member or a friend when it comes to a loan or an investment, is that it has to be written down so that we are clear and it's going to be signed. We are all aware of what should be going on. All right, now, when we come back, I'm going to give us 3 more guidelines on the process of raising money from family and friends. Subscribe to this channel, please. Speak to you soon.